Well, I slept here last night underneath a couple of trailers, and I like my hat is from KGB. I look like, but I've always slept back here. It's an old tag of mine. It's out of the wind, or pretty much, and they put a bunch of crates and stuff up against that north side. So I just went to a dumpster and found a bunch of cardboard flaps. I just rolled up. I gotta go get some coffee in the train yard right there. There's like 3 trains sitting in it. So I'm gonna find out what's going where and see what to do next. Yeah, these have been here forever. Well, hell, there's no way to really tell, but I found a Cadillac grainer. This is either going to Fargo or Sioux City. I won't know until the other end of the yard. It's already aired up, but I'm not gonna know until I get to the other end of the yard where the split is to go south. But that's the chance you gotta take. And I looked, and they got loaded lumber and empty lumber racks on here. And usually loaded lumber never goes west. Not here anyway, in the Midwest. But there's empty ones and loaded ones on, so gotta take a gamble. But I'm on the B side of the grainer with all the pipes and brake equipment, reservoir, which actually I'm alright. I got plenty of space, but see the walls, they're all closed in. No one can see in. I'd hate to go back to Fargo, but I'm at a chance that it's already aired up. Well, we're aired up. There's really no way to tell whether this is going south to Sioux City or north to Fargo. One of those times that you ain't got nobody to ask, you gotta chance it. Thing that sucks, I was just in Fargo. I'd hate to do that loop all over again, especially what all I went through. But I'll know when we get to the other end of the yard. That's where the split turns off and goes south to Sioux City. And you can't really look at the cars and tell. It has half loaded lumber cars and half of them are empty. So, and loaded wood always goes south this far north in the Midwest. But being with empties, it's like, why is it going south and loaded and empty? Unless those are just special order cars with lumber, then it's more likely to go south. You kind of got to weigh your options. But we're aired up, brake for release, but it still may be an hour before we leave. But I'll record leaving the yard, or you can hear me cuss if we're going north, or hooray if we're going south. But it's got a lot of rotten grain on the floor. That stuff spills and gets wet. It's pretty much dry, but when it's wet, oh my God, maggots get in it and flies everywhere, and it smells like, oh God. But you got a couple little peek holes. But see how the sides are all, it's the Cadillac grainer. No one can see in. As long as you stay below that lip, no one can see in there. But I'm on the B end, so kind of tight in here. But actually it's a little better as far as being hidden. Anyway, I better tag shoestring somewhere. Alright, we're rolling. Now the big question and answer coming. Which way are we going? I'll try to keep the camera on until we hit that big switch on the other end of the yard. We got to go under the footbridge and a regular overpass first. It's going to take a couple of minutes. There's that roundhouse in my last video where all the engines were parked. Sometimes I just, it's too cold, I just find me an engine to get in and kind of be stop and go until we go through all the switches. I may stop the video and then start it again and get things together. Each time we stop, we're going past the switch. Yeah, I'll just start it going again. Alright, there's them railroad ties. Looking to go under the footbridge. As long as we don't go too much faster, we may be going south, because he sure is going to pass across a lot of switches to go south. We stopped 3 times, that means we went past 3 switches. Now, if those tracks there go off, that means I'm going to start cussing because we're going to Fargo. But if we hop over and get on those 2 lines up ahead a half mile, I'll be cheering. Got to go past the vehicle bridge overpass. Got to go by the yard office. I'll just hold the camera down when we the car bridge. Going to Fargo Fargo. Be over there. This we're gonna do a wide cross. We're going slow enough we might be. May be going south. Oh, hell yeah. Come on, keep going over. Go over one more. Yeah, I think we're going south. There's the Fargo lines over there. Yes, hell yeah. Woo-wee. Yeah. There goes your line. You go to Fargo. Ah, did it with no help. Yeah. Yeah, who's the man? Yep, on our way to Sioux City. Now we get down to Akron. We either go to Lincoln or Kansas City. That'll be 7-8 hours though. Hell yeah. Alright, now I got plenty of water and that. Plenty of chewing food. It'll be a good ride. I had to stop to let 2 trains go by. That's a grain mill there. Put my rabbit fur hat on. That grain getting everywhere. Ethanol train go by. Yep, we're fixing to leave. That brake piston went in. We already let 2 trains go by.
That doesn't happen often.
Usually when 3 or 4 go by and you're still sitting, you know your crew's gone on you. Should be pulling any minute. He said time to set that light. Where they load them cars. Getting my finger in the way. got off in the siding this morning in Fremont, Nebraska. Usually always hit the siding in Fremont. And the good thing is, it's a manual switch. So no matter what direction the train comes in, it's got to stop. So if you're going north or south, got a good chance of getting off. And the Union Pacific crosses Burlington Northern Santa Fe here downtown about a mile. Having a little breakfast. I had a feeling that train from Willmar was going to Lincoln. And I always call it stinking Lincoln. I hate Lincoln. But there has been times I've gone out through Sioux City, out of Willmar, and gone to Kansas City Murray Yard. I just didn't want to chance it. It's a lot warmer, I know that. But I'll make some video down there at the four-way here in a bit. About a mile walk from where I got off the train. Oh, we're in pretty much downtown Fremont. Now behind me here is Ardent Mills. Grain elevator. Oh, I remember one of these in Dalhart, Texas, busted one time and buried about 4 or 5 cars. That's why I don't understand if it's open or not. I don't hear no fans or see no flakes of grain or anything flying. I'm gonna try and walk down to the four-way. We're looking towards the four-way now, but I gotta... Yeah, I met up there at the store getting coffee, I met a BNSF worker. He come out and he asked me, was I all right? He was talking money-wise, I think, instead of health-wise. And I thought maybe he noticed me or something. But he pointed to his jacket, the BNSF on it. And I couldn't even see it until he pointed it out. But we sit and talked. I shared my YouTube link with him. And he shared his. Now the four-way is about a quarter mile up. Yeah, I'm thinking this place maybe closed down. Now, that orange machine here, they use that to pull them railroad cars with. Those little wheels, steel wheels right there, they just hydraulically lower down onto the railroad track. And what gives it traction is the regular street wheels, because they sit on top of the rail too. So to go forward, he's got to put it in reverse because you got a different wheel working off of. Anyway, let's see how much further I can go before I gotta have 2 hands. I gotta find some trees or something to get hid in. This out in the open. This BNSF stuff. Actually, that right there, them box cars, or reefer box cars, that's a pickup. BNSF will grab them later on that local shot through, take them to Lincoln. Here comes a UP behind me. This BNSF territory right here in front. If I can get somewhere to put down my bucket. Yeah, I see some yard power down there. And we got a UP coming in on, that's UP over here. There's Ardent, that grain mill. Boy, I would love to get on top of there. I remember in Marshall, Texas, me and a friend got up. I went all the way to the top. He's a little short. The ladder was broken in a lot of places, and I was the only one to reach it where it had broke. Well, I thought I seen some headlights. Yep, there's coming out of North Platte, Nebraska, going to Chicago here. Most of them crew change here. Sometimes they go on to Missouri Valley a little bit further. There's some good trees to hide in right there. It's not all of them stop. UP stop here, crew change. Depends on how they're doing on time out of North Platte, because that's a long division, like almost 300 miles in one crew change. So if they get close to running out and can't make it to Missouri Valley, they'll crew change here, and vice versa. Because after this crew change, they go on to Boone, Iowa and crew change. After that, they go to Clinton, Iowa and crew change. And it's Chicago after Clinton. And from Clinton, you can take a different railroad and go down to Davenport and the Hant Yard and Kansas City. Yeah, every time I have a feeling my BNSF out of Sioux City is going to Lincoln, I get off here. I just do not like Lincoln. Trains go like 5 different directions out of there. And if you take a right and go west at Ashland Y, you're definitely going to Lincoln. Let's see how wet it looks over here. It looks pretty wet. Well, I have to check the weather. It said 70 degrees today, but I don't know, it just feels really wet. I noticed that Virgo's making its way further to the ground. You can see it raining, but it's not quite reaching the ground. The more that happens, the wetter the air gets and the further down it makes it. Well, I'm gonna police the area here. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad back in there. Let's see. That's a good hiding spot. I don't remember it being so cut out. Yeah, find a different way back. Yeah. I'll have to look around. I have an old camp back here. It's been like 20 years since I've been back here. Yeah, there's that yard power I showed you in the last clip. In the crossing, UP BNS crossing there. Look at this big old hunk of rust. Took the windows out on the side, and it took their speed off. Hello. God, gutted it and locked it. Man, they may be gonna turn this into a little house or a restaurant or something. Man, poor guy. They took the wheels off of it too. You know, back in the day when I started riding all these old BN cabooses, there was a guy named Pat Slade, and he'd take his marker right in here and he'd write Pat Slade #1. I've tried Googling that to find pictures, but I never have. This was way back in the early 90s. There were rumors on who this Pat Slade was. Muffler Man, 1984. Mad Mel, 81. Doctor, 82. Muffler Man again. Yeah, Walmart. That's kind of what the sign looked like back then. Where's Shoestring at? Did Shoestring get it yet? Now, I've never seen these. Oh yeah, look, see that? That's outfitted for water, I think. That's pretty darn neat. I'm gonna try to get over there and get on them engines, but dang, I gotta get the glasses out so I can see far off. Well, we got GP25. This is all they really need here in this small switching yard for BNSF. They just take care of stuff that UP drops off. No crew on it, but I think the crew vehicle is behind me. Right there. Even with my glasses on, I can't tell if anybody's in either the locomotive or that. Of course, that could be a vehicle for that business to the right. See, even with the glasses, I can see a hell of a lot better about 100 foot and beyond. I mean, the glasses are still well worth it. But as far as close-up stuff, I'm better off not wearing the glasses. Now we're fixing to go to the four-way. Then I'm gonna try to chuck it over to the library and use the Wi-Fi. Now, I really don't like BNSF's new paint scheme. And I really never liked Santa Fe's. Oh, that's a Jeep 39. Well, that car just drove off, or vanished. I don't see it. I didn't see it drive off either. Now, back in my drinking days, I would have just boldly got up on there and made a video. Well, too bad we're not here to see them replace this four-way. All these four-ways are prefabbed somewhere else, and then they shipped here. Usually in gondolas on their side, special bracket car. But this one's brand new, it just hadn't been put in yet. Now, Lincoln is where they change out axles and service and wash a lot of locomotives. So it may have come in there and then shipped on convoy here. But if you see the angle that four-way is, they're different ones across the nation, or different angles where they cross over. And that was a pretty good clip to the side. Instead of due straight over at a 45-degree angle, that's like 17 degrees. So they send off those measurements and have them fabricate one to the exact specifications this is. That way they don't have to hold up freight traffic when they replace it, because all they got to do is just drop it down in there and weld it in, sink it in. But this here is UP. That's going to North Platte Bailey Yard and West Coast. This going to Chicago. This going down to Lincoln and Kansas City via Ashland Junction. And this track BNSF north to Sioux City and Willmar, Minneapolis. Yeah, look how wore down that thing is. No wonder. Good night. Let me try to zoom up on that. See, they can only repair them so much. They just put a big chunk of steel in there and weld it in and sand it down, file it down even. But each time they do that, it just gets weaker and weaker. See the points at that one actually must have just been repaired. It's not too bad, but good Lord, that one there is really bad. God, that's a mess. And the door over there is open. There's signal man over there, I think. Or that could be my shelter if it rains. Yeah, anyway, be nice to have a train go over. Car carrier just did before I got here. Oh, that dang ragweed's rampant. Now I gotta go to the library. That's about another 1.5 miles. But anyway, where I got off is up about 1.5 miles. There's that siding, that manual switch on both ends. So if you're going north or south from Fremont, it's good to go up there under North Broad Street overpass that crosses them tracks. No matter what direction your train comes in, it's got to stop to hit the conductor, get off and manually throw that switch.